me tell y'all something. It's day 11. Welcome back to the channel. Listen to me when I tell you it has been a day, baby. It has been a day. How was your day? How does that feel? Well, what do you think you'll do different? Okay. Well, I'm glad. I'm really glad to hear that you are keeping your mind set on what it is that you are up to. Whatever that is, right? Whatever you're up to might change from time to time. As it does for me. It does for me. And life, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but life just keeps on getting better and better. Like, I'm able to hold more and more. Every time I turn around, I've been blessed with another responsibility. And I do really good usually at holding most responsibilities. There are some that I'm absolutely still working through. But all in all, I feel, excuse me, like I am holding my responsibilities in a way that is nurturing, that is effective, that is sufficient, and in alignment with my agreements. So that's how I'm holding it. But I you know, we grown. We can talk. Today has been a rough day. I have a sick 18-year-old. He has a flu. And that would, the unexpected turns and twists of life. What am I supposed to do? So everything that was not that got halted. Okay? Because I needed to make sure that he was okay, and I had to get him into the urgent care. And thankfully, we did. Now, this was for a couple of days that he's been exhibiting these results, and not that these symptoms, and it wasn't getting any worse, but it wasn't getting any better with what I was doing here at home. And I'm not here for no suffering, especially not of my children. So we did go to the urgent care, and he does have the flu, which is a surprise. And a little challenging because my mother just had a major surgery and has, immune things going on. So it's tricky because we're all here together. And what's even more tricky is we've got to get him well because he's got to go back to school. He's just here on holiday. The unexpected twists and turns. There's nothing I can do about it. Right? My previous self would be highly triggered with circumstances. And I would probably be a little flabbergasted right now. You know what? I don't have my other phone with me. I wonder where that thing is. I need to look up what stink bugs mean, because as I was coming back into the house, a stink bug came with me and flew overhead. Okay. I don't know what that means, but it stayed in here for a while. And Isaiah and I figured out to get a glass jar, and stick it in there and sit it outside so it could fly away. It needed a little help because it didn't want to leave. A bunch of help, actually. I went out there and turned the jar over for it to fall out, and then it still didn't want to go. Once it fell out of the jar, I had to go out there and pop it so it'll go. So I need to find out what that means. So I start looking at the synchronicities in life. Everything has meaning. And I say that because this is my chosen way. Oh, this is my alternative to being so deep in my emotions as things pop up. I remember a time when my adrenaline was so tapped out because I stayed in such a stress state. I didn't have any more to give, right? And, you know, people say, Shatoya, your voice, your tone, da 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 da. Y'all, I sound like this because I was tired of being so animated all the time. And I have an animated personality. Right? This is what's left, really, from adrenal burnout. And that was years ago, right? I'm not even experiencing that anymore. This is just what's left. This is the evolution of who I am as a result of me making a choice to combat my triggers. Now we're just now this far into this video, and the beginning of this video was to kind of build up the understanding of what it is that we're talking about. What it is that I'm talking about as it relates to how it looks in my life, right? There's nothing we can do about what's going on around us, but we can do everything about how we're experiencing it on the inside because we're responsible for our responses. So if every time something happens in your life, you are triggered, I mean, like this motion right here, friction, you feel it all in between your heart and your root chakra, sometimes in your head, depending on how deep you allow yourself to go. If you feel exhausted, if you feel tired, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you have had enough, if you say more than one time a day, like, F this, if you are in a place where you are really ready to give up, it is time for you to take control of your triggers. Now, what are triggers? Triggers are anything that sends you into an emotional state where you feel like your default mode is the best space. I reference this all the time. Rage drivers. You all call it road rage. It's not the road with the rage. They're the drivers. Okay, so drivers that have rage as you're driving down the street with other people who are also trying to get somewhere, who may or may not be driving to your specificity. And you allow yourself to be so worked up that you start screaming or reacting or defaulting to the other driver who's in the other car on the other side of the road. I'll never understand it. It's never made sense to me. That person. Okay, so I'm talking to you. Yep, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the person that is triggered by rudeness and what you perceive as rudeness. People can be rude, but again, it's up to you to respond in a way that one is in alignment with who you are, especially if you have ordained yourself to God, meaning that's your belief system, right? A trigger for me is hypocrisy. It's true. I don't like that shit at all, and that's when I make a choice to address it. See, there's a distinction there. I'm not reacting to the fact that you're a hypocrite. I'm reacting to the fact that you place this divinity over yourself and then choose to act outside of your divinity at every given opportunity. Hypocrisy. See, I'm here to call that out. Yeah. So I'm talking to you. It's time for you to transform that trigger of wanting to be a hypocrite by not doing what it is that you know to do when you know to do it. You're out of integrity. You're not practicing what I just heard my good girlfriend. Now she don't even know me and I don't know her either. But Nikki White, if y'all haven't heard, she said the fruit of the Spirit. I said, now that's what I'm talking about. If you're not practicing the fruit of the Spirit, but you want to preach the gospel to the people and you're being nasty, I'm talking to you. See, these are your triggers, right? So if somebody says something about something, you got to say something back. Yep, I'm talking to you. Right? So these are what triggers are. I said yesterday we were going to talk about what triggers are. These are the triggers. I don't know how else to tell y'all. Right? When you are triggered by your children, I'm talking to parents now. This is Trigger to Transform, the parent edition. Right? So when you're triggered by something that your children do, how do you react? I heard a mama say, I cuss at my kids. I cusses my kids out. Okay, is that the type of mama that you want to be? Because if that's what you want, then let me tell you something. I'm not here to stand in your way. I want to ask you what the impact is, though. What is the impact of you speaking to your children that way? What's their behavior like? Do they stop doing what you've asked them not to do yet by you taking that approach? I'm just asking. Sometimes you have to spank their ass. Sometimes that is needed and necessary, but ain't common. Is that the type? If that's what you want. Are you able to tell your children no? Right? Do you get triggered when they ask you for something and you feel obligated to say yes because they're your babies and now you're parent edition? So the trigger is the truth. The trigger is where you stand to see yourself and make a powerful decision about who it is that you're going to be in seeing yourself. What is now your way of being? Ways of being. Okay? If you're constantly triggered by the people at work, that's a big one, Lord. These people will ask for a job and complain about the job the entire time. You don't like this one. You don't like that one. This one gets on your nerves. She don't know what she's doing. That's a trigger for you. How are you going to handle it? What is your focus when it comes to this career, right? Where is your vision? Where is it that you see yourself going as a result of being in this space? What is your overall vision? Because if you have time to be in the know about what so-and-so is doing that tricks you off so bad about the way they doing their job, then you ain't got no goals. That should be a trigger. See, I'm not trying not to trigger you. I'm really not. I am trying to help you see yourself. I remember one day I had to take an Uber over to the salon. What's up to my girl Mika? I'm coming back. It's just a lot going on. It's time to get these locks retwisted, girl. I'm coming. I was on my way to Mika's in a Uber. Now I typically don't take Uber for this reason. Well, not really for this reason, but for many reasons. Anywho, the young lady was telling me how she was so tired of her life and that it was all bad. And so I was like, wow, that's unfortunate. What's going on? What's happening? She didn't want to stop doing what she was doing in order to get a new result. And I was like, who are you? Who do you expect to do that for you? Because at the end of the day, it's you that's got to make the change. This is why I don't want to talk about it anymore. I bet you don't, which is fine by me. But that doesn't stop or change the fact that if you want to see a change in your life, I'm going to tell you like I told her. If you want to see the change in your life, you're going to have to do the work. If you want to cry and blame everybody else, the exes, the mamas, the daddies, the baby mamas, the baby daddies, honey, I got stories about all of them. Okay? My baby daddy stopped coming around when I was 5 months pregnant. My mom and I continuously work on our relationship because, oh my God, when I tell you she was mad at my dad forever, and probably still a little mad at him. As a matter of fact, most likely a lot of mad at him. I just met my daddy when I turned 40. I was almost 41. The ex put my stuff on the porch and told me to come pick it up. What? I got the stories. I don't not understand. It's a choice. Okay? If you are ready to look at yourself in depth, I gotta post my calendar link. Book a call. This is the season. Now is the time. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not interested in talking to everybody. I'm interested in talking to everybody. I'm not interested in everybody being on my calendar. I have no desire to be booked and busy like that. Like, I want to help. I genuinely want to talk to people who are ready to do the work. You heard me. You heard me describe you. And if you are ready to confront yourself, to see some changes in yourself, to transform in order to find and be within your evolution, you're going to want to book a call. You only need 3 sessions. I guarantee you will be ready to transform your life. If it takes you any longer than that, excuse me, takes you longer than 3 sessions, I will call in reinforcements. And they ain't physical. Okay? Because that's how serious I am about this inconsistency that we see across especially our community. I'm not here to badmouth nobody. I'm not here to mislabel anybody. I am here to speak from a place of it's a choice for us to be in this oppressive state. And it is a result of transgenerational trauma, right? It goes a whole lot deeper. This is the part of the program that a lot of programs aren't going to tap into. Transgenerational trauma. See, this behavior is a result of fear. See, I'm clear on why we're behaving that way. Now, I'm not clear on why we keep choosing to react, right? But I do get that it's because we don't see the distinction. We don't see the difference. We don't see the opportunity for something else. It feels inauthentic. But I assure you, you're in default mode. And as a result of your default, you're causing yourself suffering and pain that's unnecessary. So what's on the other side of the opportunity and the choice to create something different? To create and live a new narrative. That's what triggers are. That's a distinction in how we're handling our triggers currently and how we want to handle our triggers. So become aware of yourself. Take a notebook. Write down every time you feel triggered. What is it that causes the triggers to occur in your life? What are your triggers? So that you can really get busy on what's important. which is who you stand to be in life, right? I'm talking to leaders, right? I can tell you all the stories, but it's not going to matter. I can relate, but it's not going to matter because I don't even relate to those stories. That would have been my best word. I don't relate to those stories in the same way anymore. I'm not the victim of anything. And so it's time to erase, to alchemize that victim mindset that something's wrong, that lack mentality that there is not enough to go around, right? And I say that as it relates to it's not enough happiness, it's not enough joy, it's not enough abundance. If somebody's got something that belongs to you, somebody's done something, you're mad at the person that's in the other car, that's in the other lane, in their lane, minding their business, and you mad because they're too close to your car, they were too close to your bumper, they cut you off, they didn't use a signal, they're driving fast in the school zone. Those are all triggers. Transgenerationally, we're going to find out why that is your trigger, right? This goes way beyond your childhood. Okay? Class is in session. It's now or never. This is a practice space, but we are in a real world experience. And we're either going to align with the divine awakening, or you're going to get sucked into whatever else there is. I don't even want to imagine whatever else is available when I know my salvation is here. I'm just saying, if you're going to believe it, you better believe it and stand in it. Okay? If you're going to walk and talk and be of God, you better stand in it. Don't get caught up in these narratives about what ain't going on. And don't you dare tell me that you don't know no better. Okay? Now, go transform your life. Go do something productive. Get off of the phone with those people that's gossiping and not doing nothing but keeping you stuck. I'm so proud of you because you can do it every single day. Go ahead and make your to-do list for tomorrow because I'm going to ask you what was on your to-do list and what did you actually get done. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't get nothing done, but today is Saturday, so my intentions, I'll say, weren't completely met today. I did do part of it. I separated the laundry. I didn't get to wash it. I wasn't in the house long enough. So I'm going to do it tomorrow. Or tomorrow's Sunday, so probably not. But Monday for sure. I'll make sure I'm going to nurse my son tomorrow, though. Make sure he's good. Right? And I'm going to be present. I might write some. But despite it all, baby, I'm going to be all right. And everything works for my good. And I know that. I know that. Okay? And I want you to know it too. So go, transform your life. Take those triggers and turn them into your gold. Alchemize that low vibrational fear energy into love and abundance and joy, baby. We'll talk about frequencies, but I'm here to tell you right now that that is what's available to you. So go get you some. Okay? And if you need support in your journey, I'm going to drop my calendar down there and you create your own call. And I'll show up and we'll hash it out. We'll hash you out. We'll talk about the things that trigger you in ways that we can pull some tools out of our toolbox and things that worked and have not worked. And we'll dive a little deeper into that transgenerational trauma based on who you are and who you say you are, who your family is. Because once you clear all that up and you know who you are, you're going to walk a little bit different. Because them ancestors going to be on your back so heavy that you ain't going to have no chance to walk with your head down, back up, chest up. It's coming into the year of the horse, and my equestrian friends just reminded me that it's tits and toes up, sis. Let's go. It's the year of the horse. Get on. It's time to go. Change your life right now. Don't wait. Like, subscribe, and share. And if it's not for you, then send it to the person it's for. I love you, and thank you for loving me. This is Triggered to Transform, y'all.